Hello friends, this is Sharmi with the Amateur Gardener, shooting another video today. It is the beginning of spring break and I am trying to get my garden ready for the season. Right now I'm going to take you through planting some cauliflowers as well as some dahlia tubers. So my luck with dahlias wasn't that great last year, though I have done dahlias at a different spot in this garden in the past and they did pretty well for me. It might be something with the soil, something with my getting complacent and not caring for it enough, but I'll take you through it and we'll try to show you all more about it as the months go by. Okay, so what I did so far was we got some new compost on most of my garden beds, and then I planted a whole lot of bulbs, a lot of liatris, a lot of lilies. They were, I believe, oriental lilies, and then I always add a few to my bed of astilbes. I do have some astilbes coming back barely this year, so some of them are poking their heads, but I always tend to add a couple more every year. And then also planted a couple of dicent. I am trying it for the first time this year, so we'll see how it does. Got a bag of roots from Costco, so we'll see. It says it should grow in our zone. I planted it in kind of protected area, so more like few hours of sun only. So I think it gets about 3 hours of sun, 3-4 maybe hours of sun at max during the day, but I'll show you how it does. Okay, let's get going. Giving you a closer look at some of my cabbage. I have a lot here. I don't know how many total. Probably around 15, maybe more. 5 here, 4, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, I was right, 15. I have 15 here, and then I'm planting cauliflower in between. I don't know how long it's going to take to grow. I'm hopeful it'll do okay. Should be ready to harvest, they say, within a couple of months, so sometime in May. Okay, and let me take you through parts of it. Giving you a look of this bed. Some of the daffodils are in bloom. Let me show you. This has a very beautiful fragrance. I want to look up what I had purchased in the past and tell you what the name is. I'm definitely going to get more of these this coming winter. It's too late now, but I love these verbena. I think I'd misstated these are not from Proven Winners. This is not Superbena. This is actually Endurascape from, I've gotten from somewhere else. I have to look it up. Maybe Blooming Designs. Okay, so these are some of my snowflakes that come back every year. Let me give you a better look at it. There they are. I planted it in kind of this area. It is spread a little bit. I actually wanted to spread a little more, but it's kind of contained in this area. Doesn't even go beyond the boxwood hedge. It's all in front of the boxwood hedge. I think the roots of the boxwood are preventing it from going behind, and that's okay. I have planted a lot of liatris here, so that's going to come back. There are a lot of bulbs that were planted here. Maybe, I don't know how many, maybe 100-ish. So they should be coming back. Not doing a full garden tour today, but that is my Helen von Steen lambsia. I have few chunks of it. Some of the chunks actually merged together and formed a big clump, and then there are some more here. I have a lot of salvia here. This is the Proven Winners Rock and Plain, the blue salvia, and then this area looks nicely de-weeded and new compost put in. This is my apple tree. It bent over from the weight of the apples last year, and this year I plan to straighten it a little bit. Let's see how far we can get with that. Okay, and then the roses, most of them are David Austin roses. I have 5 of them here. The one that is not David Austin is this one. This is Bliss Parfuma. So I have trimmed all of them back severely. Literally I took a hedge trimmer and cut them. No, joking, but yes. So these are some more salvias that survive all winter. They spread a little bit, and I actually wanted to spread. They're like the purple blooming salvias. Trimmed this part as well. This is the old fashioned rose. This is Madame Plantier. Haven't trimmed it. I'll trim it after it blooms. The one behind it is an iceberg rose. That's a burgundy iceberg. This is another apple tree. This one's straight. It did produce some fruit last year, not as much as the other tree, but it's still straight. I have onions there. As you can see, I've put cages. I have like 6 of these cages from like previously I had bought them. I always cover my strawberries because I was having someone coming in, like some 4-legged creatures coming in, nipping and pulling out my strawberries. So these cages are awesome. I got them from Gardener's Supply. So we decided to put cages for the onions too, because someone was coming and pulling out the onions that had grown so painstakingly from seed in the greenhouse and then transplanted it here, and lo and behold, the next day I find critters coming and pulling them out. So no, so they're not gonna have my onions. And then these are garlic. Somehow they didn't charge garlic. I don't know why. They have been doing okay. So, and then I have another bed of garlic there. I did not cover this bed of onions. This is still tiny onions. These are the ones that I grew from bulbs, like onion bulbs, like seed onions. So they're still barely coming out. They're okay. Then nothing's planted in these 2 huge L-shaped beds. I still have to put additional compost on them. I will talk about all the veggies that I'm going to plant there, but this is another look at my my bed from this side. This is I call it my raised bed near the vegetable garden, but the front row of it is mostly perennials. I don't have any annuals here. I actually don't plan to do annuals. I have a grapevine there, huge one. I do have to prune it this year. I haven't touched it yet. These are 2 rose bushes, climbing roses. This one is Quicksilver. It's an arbor rose from Cordis, and then one behind it is a beautiful thornless rose. That's Zephyrin drone. And then this one is a huge clematis. It was planted in 2021, and every year it gets beautiful. So this one will have a I'll do a short by itself on it, and I'll do additional videos on it. I can see flowers from every node this year. This is Viva Polonia clematis. Okay, what else? I have another rose here. This one is Awakening rose. It's in the New Dawn family of roses. Very thorny, but produces profuse flowers all year. Nothing much else to show. I'm going to do the side of the garden bed later on. But just wanted to show you these 2 beds, and right now I'm planning to plant some dahlias here, so we'll see how that goes. And let me take you to my stash of dahlias that I plan to plant. I have about 18 bulbs this year that I plan to plant. I think there are some mostly pink and purple ones, and it's pink plum collection. I don't know what they are, but I'll plant them. And then there are some orange and yellow ones, and then there's a purple and yellow. Over the last 2 years or so, my luck with dahlias hasn't been that good, so I am going to add some coffee ground for initial growth and then fertilize them later on. So I'll try to read up more on it, and if anyone has more feedback on how to grow dahlias in raised beds, let me know. Trying to show you now how I plant my dahlias. At least this is what I'm trying this year. As I said, for the last couple of years I've not been doing that great for various reasons with dahlias, but this is what I'm using to plant. So I'm planting it in my raised garden bed in middle of my brassicas, all my cabbage and cauliflowers. They are doing awesome, or have been doing really well. So I do not think there is an issue with the soil itself. It's probably an issue what we call user error, so problem with me, how I took care of them last year. But these are some of my dahlias that I got. Some of them have already started to bud out, and there are some different varieties here. And this is the fertilizer mix that I'm using, just a little bit. So a lot of it is Biotone, which is just a rooting fertilizer that I use for a lot of my perennials and my shrubs. And then I mixed it with some peat moss and some coffee grounds. So you can think of it as like a 1 to 1 to 1 mixture, so like a third of each. And then I'm going to plan on taking like about 2 fistfuls of each with every plant. I have about, I think, 18 plants, so I'm going to use like 2 fistfuls of each. Should have enough. Trying to plant the tallest ones towards the back. Really, that is not a back, because if I use that walkway, that'll be the front, so it really doesn't matter. Most of these dahlias are anywhere between 36 to 48 inches tall. Give and take a few inches here and there, it's about the same. So I'm trying to plant the more like the 40 plus inches on the back and the 30 some inches towards the front. It's hard to say when I get a pack full of them with mixed plants. Some of them have their names on the back and it does say the height. Some mixtures don't. I'm trying my best guess. Okay, let me take you through one as I'm planting them, and then I'm not planting it right next to the irrigation outlet. As you can see, we have drip irrigation here. All my flower beds have drip irrigation, so you can see the line there. And just dug a hole, planted 2 here, 1 here and 1 there, and then I am going to try to spread this one as much as possible like this, kind of spread the roots a little bit. Okay, and then what I'm doing is I'm going to use like 1 fistful, as I said, maybe a little less than 1, mix it with the soil underneath it. Make a nice gap here, so that one's stuck there. And then I'm going to use another fistful, mix it with some soil and put it around it, and the rest I'll just fill in with the soil. This area has some new compost that was laid, about a 2 to 3 inch layer, and it has some compost from last year as well. I'll keep you updated on how these do. This is early March. That's a different thing. Okay, so I don't want it very close to the drip line, because it's just tubers now and I don't want to water them at all until they start sprouting. So I'll be careful and just making sure no water reaches them. I have no plans to turn on the drip irrigation yet till I see my bulbs sprouting. Okay, and then we get enough rain every week or so, once a week or so, or sometimes more, and that is good enough. This is an Ito Oompa Loompa peony that I had shown in one of my earlier videos, but it was getting dark that day. But I wanted to show you that right now I can see so many buds. And then this is the other one that I transplanted today. This one has like so many buds. It's a yellow peony, it's Bardzella. It's also another Ito peony. Okay, this is one of my definite faves. And then the other thing I did today was I got a couple of blueberries that cross-pollinate each other. I put them in pots. This is one of them, and this is the other one. So I kept this in a little bit of like filtered light for now because they were on my patio, but in a couple of days they should be all good. Hope you all liked my video today. If you did, do hit a like and do subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video.